What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, in the realm of indie games, we're going to be checking out Signal Simulator. This is a little creeping dread job simulator that I think does a really good job. And at the beginning of the game, it's got a quote that pops up by Arthur Clarke that essentially says, there's two possibilities in the universe, either we're alone or we're not, and both are equally terrifying. And I think this entire game really exemplifies that quote very well. You are an isolated worker for SETI, which is the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, in the middle of the desert, all by your lonesome with no human contact, and you are working with like 19 or 20 satellite dishes in order to make contact with alien races. And the game, I know that sounds a little over the top, but ultimately this is a job simulator that can very rapidly swing kinda creepy. This game does a great job at making you just feel alone with your thoughts and your imagination. I can tell you, nothing in life is scarier than your own imagination. So let's dive on into the game. This is going to be pretty highly edited. I know that I specialize in doing unedited plays and impressions here on YouTube, and I do that for a reason, because I want you to see all the warts and everything else. But in this game, there's so many things, like rotating the dishes, that'll take like 10 minutes, that honestly we're going to have to do a reasonable amount of editing. So I'm going against my normal rules here on YouTube's, but it's for a good cause, because this game is actually really rad. There's a very specific type of person that I think is going to dump insane amounts of hours into this game, and I think some of those people exist inside my audience. So anyways, we've got to get our first signal. To get our first signal, we got to go to the laptop right over here. And then we'll pop on into the laptop, we open up the scanner, and then we're just going to ping the universe. Universe, what are you holding for me right now? What do you have at the moment, universe? What makes you excited? Apparently, the universe has something for us. These little white kind of, I guess, flushed areas, that's our signal, and that's what we're looking for. So we're going to analyze it real fast. Once it gets up to 100%, we're going to have to isolate the frequency and see what we can get done here. All right. So let's find this frequency real fast and see if we can lock it on in so we can start scanning to actually download and decrypt the data. A lot of the time what comes through is like hexadecimal signals from beyond and whatnot. It can actually be kind of creepy watching the signal come together and being like, oh my god, that's not a normal sound that the universe makes. There it is, we done found it. Tried to hide from us, but it couldn't hide. Alright, so let's disconnect now that we got the signal there. Now we need to go over here and we need to tune the signal. And we'll know that we've got it tuned properly because this little light that says tracking available will turn green once we've got it found. There'll also be a bunch of noises like tick, 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 tick. There'll be a bunch of like oh, there we go, there we go, there we go. Alright, so we've got it. And it appears as though our elevation is actually already locked in. So it's taking an average of both the azimuth right now and the elevation of the dish in order to let us know what we're supposed to be doing. So there we go, it's on 8032. We've actually got the elevation more or less locked in. We could probably tune that slightly. Yeah, we could probably tune it a little bit. There we go. So that's looking a lot better. But now we got to find the azimuth. And the way that we do that is on this monitor right here. It's going to give us an average of all the readings. So we know what we're shooting for is between 293 and it's between 320 or so. So the average is 308. Let's go ahead and we're going to take the azimuth and we're going to tune this up to about 308. And we're going to see what comes through. There we go. And then we're going to set that to fly. And what you'll notice is that big dish out there is going to start to rotate. Unfortunately, if you're looking at our readout right here, it's going to take a really long time to rotate the dish by like 130 degrees. We're getting about a degree every 2 seconds. And so, as you can see, it's going to take about 5 minutes. So we'll come back once the dish is rotated. The only downside to this entire thing is that unfortunately sometimes the signals leave before you can actually get the dish rotated to catch the signal. I had it happen to me last night where I had to rotate by about 150 degrees azimuthal, and then with the elevation I had to move that by about 60 and I'm sorry, not 60, like 30 or 40. And by the time it actually got done rotating, the signal was gone. It just went boop, 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 and all my scanners like dropped. So anyways, while that's doing its thing, I can introduce you to the rest of our hideout. Over here we got our corkboard. We've got sexy aliens on this side. Apparently it says Anthro Senpai. So there you go. We've got a nude sexual alien. Which, once again, that was one of my nicknames in college, sexual alien. This is our kitchen. This is a new area, actually. We featured this game probably about a year ago, maybe 8 months ago, in there somewhere. This entire area of the base did not exist. There was actually just like a wall right here, and then this stairway went up. The building was much smaller, but now we've actually got a living space. I feel like we should put something in like over here. You know, like a couch right here, some satellite television right here, because we are in the middle of the sticks. I'm going to take a rough guess and say that this is probably in New Mexico or Arizona somewhere. It's what it looks like to me. Once the sun comes up, it's a little bit easier to isolate. But we are out in the middle of the sticks, and so I assume that we're probably not going to get great Wi-Fi reception. We're more than likely going to have to be hooked up to some satellites. We got our fridge, we got our coffee maker. One thing you do want to do is you want to move around, and you're going to want to kind of kill all the lights. This game is very realistic, and you're running off a generator right now, and you're going to have to fuel and keep that generator and those solar panels up and running in order to keep doing your work, and every single light that is turned on causes that to drain. If you want to, we can jump in the bathtub. There's no light switch in here, so you can't turn off this light as far as I know. Can't close off the blinds either, so, you know, when the grays show up and they start tapping on the windows like, oh... It's not really, we're not going to have a whole lot of cover. No shelter if you're looking for shade. But let's go ahead and kill some of the lights around here. I'm not going to work in the dark in this room because it's too creepy. I don't want to do that. That's a bad plan. We'll kill the lights inside the server racks. And then we also don't need to kill that light, but the hallway lights, we can probably get away with killing the hallway lights. And then I don't remember if there's roof lights or not. I don't think there are. Look at that sky. Nutty. It is like, if you live somewhere that's metropolitan, like I'm a city kid, I've lived in the city my entire life, you don't get to see stars like this. But when I was doing geological surveys and you'd be like 4 hours from the nearest city, and you know, like an hour from the nearest town/village, you get these crazy vistas where you're just laying out under the stars like, damn. But even then, we were all the way in like Death Valley, and you would still get light pollution from like Vegas and other areas, like off in certain directions, that would still make it so the stars would, like, you couldn't see the city or anything, but the stars would kind of die out along the horizon in that direction and kind of disappear on you. I'm going to close the door over here and then lock the door on that side so that nobody's getting up that way. We'll kind of lock the door on that side too because I am a paranoid man. I don't know why door locks have been added to the game, but they have. How's our rotational business going right now? We almost there? We are at... Oh, we're there. Nice. Okay. So it said that our average was 308. Let's go ahead and we'll adjust a little bit, and we will see what happens here. That actually happened faster than I thought it would happen. We gotta find this signal, so if we go up to... We can go up or we can go down. Let's take it down for right now. And we're taking it down to about 300, it looks like. Hopefully we'll catch a signal around here somewhere. There it is, we got it. So it was at 310. You want to watch this right here. This is actually new. This wasn't in the game the last time I played. The last time I played, there was just a readout for efficiency up here, and it made it difficult to tell if the problem was elevation or azimuth. They've added this in now to kind of smooth over that process. And so now we're downloading. It looks like we found 600 megabytes of data coming in from space. We're downloading at about 4 MB per second. So it's going to take us a minute to get that locked in, but then we'll be able to listen to the signal and find out what it sounds like. Every single time we download a signal to 100%, we get money. We can use that money to upgrade our base here and make it so the dishes rotate faster. We can increase our bandwidth so that we download data a little bit faster. We can make it so that the solar panels generate more electricity, just all kinds of stuff like that. All things considered, though, now that they've added in this system right here with the signal strength readout, the game is a lot easier than it used to be. You used to just have a percentile right there, and you just have to fiddle with things, and then once you notice that you would kind of hit an equilibrium with elevation, then you would mess with the azimuth until you got it up to like 90% signal strength. Now, with this right here, this works much, much better. This is easier. It makes the transition into the game a little bit faster. One thing I would like to see, actually, is I would like to see an ETA on the download. If they could add that information right below the downloading percentile, just say ETA, like 1 minute, 20 seconds or whatever, that'd be great. I'm kind of obsessive about being able to see little numbers and stuff. We can't turn on the radio. And if you turn on the radio, there will actually be like little lectures and things that'll play if you're interested in that kind of thing. And so there'll be like little NASA lectures and things of that nature on the radio if you really wanted to. We got about 50 MB left to go. We really got to work on this. We got to work on this download speed. This right here was fine for the DSL days. But I had a buddy that back when we used to play World of Warcraft, every time a patch would come out, he was on dial-up. And so every time a patch would come out, one of us would have to download it using our DSL and put it on a CD and an executable and then give it to him. Otherwise, he couldn't patch the game. That dude used to be sitting around jonesing like a cigarette addict, unable to play the game until we were able to drive out to the country and give him the disc. Now we can take a look at the signal. Let's do it. So if we go to our database, we can actually check out this signal and we can see what it sounds like. Yeah, that's not a natural sound that comes from space. I don't know a lot about natural sounds that come from space, but I would suggest that we upload something. What I like to upload, we only got a couple of credits for that one, so it wasn't that big. We can increase our rotation speed if you want to. The best you can ever do is you can basically like triple the rotation speed. That's okay. It's not bad. We've also got our detection range right there, so we can find stuff that's further out if we really want to. We've got tracking. Oh my god, that noise. It's probably because I turned up the monitors to like maximum. We can make our cooling work better on our servers. We can get a better download speed. Looks like we can have a lower maintenance cost from buying modules. We can make the generator more efficient. There's all kinds of upgrades in here. I'm not going to go through them one by one. I'm just going to upgrade the azimuth rotation since that tends to be one of the ones that tends to take a while. I tend to upgrade my azimuth more than anything else just because the rotation drives me crazy. And so anyways, our charge efficiency has dropped to 50%. That's really, really bad. That means there's something wrong with the solar panels. And so we got to do some light maintenance. Let's go do some light maintenance. Some actually literal light maintenance. We got to make sure that, I mean, I would assume that the efficiency of solar panels would be pretty bad right now because it's nighttime. But I think we resolved that signal faster than the game expected us to. And so we got to hop on our little golf cart over here. And where are the solar panels at? They're over there. I see them. I see them off in the distance. So into the dark of the desert we ride. In the dark of the desert we will find signals, signals. In the dark of the moon evil will run. Alright, let me pop on out the golf cart here. If you're wondering how to do maintenance, so what's going to happen is these are going to get covered with desert dust every now and again. And so what we need to do is we need to roll out and start the cleaning process. So what you'll see is little scrubbers will go out and they'll start squeegeeing the solar panels. And then what you will notice is that charge efficiency will pop back up to 100%. That way, our consumption and our recharge rate appear to be mostly even right now. They seem to be mirroring each other. We can also fiddle around with the generator. The game is basically just going through a tutorial real fast, teaching us all the different bumps and hooks and knobs that we can get our elbows caught on. Let's go back to the main golf ball and see if we can... I don't know what's inside those buildings. I think the developer has like big plans for this game because he's frequently adding all kinds of new content and stuff to it. Like there's a rover now. I don't know what we use the rover for, but there's a rover here now. And then there's also like a bunch of random hangars over there that seem to have extra antennas, or I guess extra dishes that are being constructed or unpacked. Like basically the map has grown in this game by a whole bunch. Oh, there's something wrong with the servers. Well, if you need to turn on the generator, you can turn on the generator right here. Usually you want to use the generator for like nighttime stuff, but if you're charging properly during the daytime, you shouldn't need to. So just something to think about. The way that it throws light on that wall right there, undoubtedly creepy. And I know that that was planned right there. That has to have been planned. Because, like, in all honesty, it throwing light into the hallway like that is a little bit freaky. Something's wrong with the servers, so we got to troubleshoot those. So let's get on in here, and we'll hit the light switch, and we got to fiddle with the servers. So let's punch in our password real fast, which obviously is not hidden from anybody because we value work-related security. We'll open the help prompt, and inside of here, we got to dive on in, and we can diagnostics this thing. It looks like antenna server 10 has had a timeout, so what we want to do right now for that, as I recall, is we want to do a reboot all. And if we do that, what will happen is it'll reboot every single one of the antenna servers and it should start out. So now we can go like that. Antenna server 10 is still timed out. Okay, well, then what we can do is we can do a temp check. It is running a little hot right now. 50C is pretty rough. Let's put the fans on turbo mode, and then what will happen if we watch this is like the temperature should drop off, and then things will get a little bit better. So try a manual reboot from the local server. Okay. I don't exactly know how to do that, but we're going to figure it out. So what we may have to do here is we may actually have to manually reboot one of the antennas, I think. So we've got antenna 10. We are inside the control building. So that's the front of the building right there. So 2 is in front of us. 10 will be the third one back where they come together. Okay, we can go look. I think there's a manual thing on each one of the dishes, as I recall. And so they come together right here, and it's the third one back. So the third one back is this guy. It would help if there was a big giant number spray painted on each one of these. I think it's this guy right here. I think I probably should have brought the golf cart. All right, well, let's go get the manual reboot done. As far as I know, this was not a thing the last time I played the game either. You didn't have to manually reboot these little signals out here. Yeah, there's number 10 right there. Do I do it from down here? Is that what I do? Alright. Reboot that antenna, and then we'll check. There should be a console around here somewhere, I think, that'll allow us to figure out, unlock that door real fast. Oh, each one of these has a server rack inside of it too. Cool. Alright. Let's do a reboot of the manual server right there, and that appears to have worked. We're good. Okay, so that's all we needed to do. But unfortunately, our servers, I put it on turbo mode though. So the server should be, that's right, I just launched myself off a 20-foot drop because I'm a gangster scientist like that. I'm not afraid of the consequences of applied gravitational forces. So now that we're having further issues with the server racks, I actually find the server rack parts to be the least interesting parts, but I think it's necessary because like you're doing so much disk rotation and stuff like that in this game that like you need other little mundane tasks to throw yourself at. So if we run diagnostics here, are we good? We can do a temp check. We're at 41C. We'll put it on turbo real fast because I think the tutorial wants me to. But there you go. So we've got modules. I'm not really too worried about that. I think we could probably leave the tips alone for right now. Let's find another signal, shall we? I think that's the most interesting part of this game, so I think that's what we should spend most of our time doing. After all, it is called Signal Simulator. It's not called Fiddling with Your Fan Speed Simulator. That's a different game. It's called PC Building Simulator, and it exists. There's no signal over there. Let's see if we can find this white dot down here. I'm not seeing anything. There it is. There's our anomalous reading. I knew we'd find it. Let's get that scanned on in, and then we will isolate its frequency real fast. Real fast being kind of a relative term. What you got for me, baby? What you got for me out here? There we go. Alright, so we got ourselves another signal here. Let's go ahead and track it. Once the light goes green, we'll know we're in the... Oh, there it was. Got him. Alright, so we got to turn this guy back on. So there we go. You are now on. Detection's looking good. We can flick you on as well. With our primary readouts, it looks like we are at an azimuth of 45. So we can adjust that pretty easily. There we go. And then it looks like we are roughly at a elevation of 50. Sounds good. There we go. And we will start the dish rotation. Why do I hear a helicopter? Is there a helicopter coming in? Oh, dude, there's a helicopter. What's it doing? It's carrying something. What's underneath the helicopter? What is that? Can't decide if he's slowing down or not. Is he like dropping off supplies or something? Like maybe on like later on in development, we're gonna have to feed ourselves and make sure we eat and drink too. And maybe that's like our supply drop. Can you imagine how expensive this is? Is SETI a government agency? Is that like government subsidized? I don't even know who pays for SETI. Oh, pretty nasty looking storm coming over the hills. Yeah, that's not good. What is this chopper doing? You shouldn't be here, man. I can't imagine having a helicopter like flying around is helping out with signal detection. That's got to be introducing noise to the system unless we've got like a really good buffer. He does have a crate. What's in the crate? Huh. I've never seen this mechanic before. Interesting. Let's go up to the roof and see what goodies they sent over. I don't know, maybe some Haribo gummy bears or something? Oh, he loaded it through the hole right there in the ceiling. Interesting. Okay, let's go back and we'll check the garage area. I've never seen that happen before. That's absolutely new to the game. So what got dropped off? It doesn't look like we can access it, so maybe that's a mechanic that's not fully implemented yet? Just the helicopter dropping off supplies or something? How's our rotation process going? Are we moving along well right now? I need to go check readings and make sure that nothing needs to be troubleshotted. Let's see here. Charge efficiency is good. System efficiency is looking pretty good. Rotation-wise, we actually almost have the azimuth locked in, and then we're working on elevation now. Very nice. We'll see if we can find... Hopefully we at least hit the elevation, or we at least... Yeah, hopefully we at least hit the elevation, or we at least... Actually, looks like our elevation's a little over the top right now. We'll stop the rotation right there, and then we'll reinitialize it for 46 degrees. Okay, well, let's find our elevation real fast. And once we start seeing that elevation signal go up, we'll know we're on the right path. It looks like the low was 30 and the max is 63, so we'll take it up to 63 first. I like to show the process with all this because I think isolating the signal is the part that most people are going to have questions about. Hey, there we go. Now we're on it. So 52. Oh, it's 51. Okay. All right, that's fine. Take that up by a point. Ah, it's down by a point. Perfect. Take that down a little further, and we've got that one locked in. So now we just need to go up to there with our azimuth. It's possible we'll just stumble across it. Oh, I saw it. I seen it. There it is. All right, so is it up? No, it's down. Okay, we can tune this signal. There we go. A little further. There's our signal. We've got a 730 megabyte download from the stars. We're taking this porn game to the next level. Please understand, human porn is not good enough for us now. We need our porn delivered straight from space in a hexadecimal format. It's the only thing that gets us husky. That's all we've got left. So now that our signal's almost downloaded, this is what she sounds like. That's what we heard from space right there. It's important to realize that this is probably not being emitted by anything in particular. That sound right there, it's actually kind of interesting. Like stars and just like galactic formations and things can make weird noises like that. I'm no expert on, you know, space-related stuff. I'm very much kind of a geologist. But I have looked into this a little bit, and you can get some very, very odd sine waves from things in space that definitely sound like they're planned, when in fact they really aren't. It's just nothing in particular is sending that signal out. Is that another random signal? It is. So we got another random signal right there. Not too bad. Not too bad. We haven't gotten any storyline signals yet. Those are the ones that start to get creepy, and then event signals as well. That's when things start to get really interesting. How much did we get paid for that? Oh, wow, we got paid out for that. We made a decent amount of money. Let's go with an elevation upgrade. And then we'll also go with an antenna. Actually, let's increase the efficiency of our coordinate detection. That sounds good. So there you go. Inside the modules section, you can get all kinds of cool stuff over here. You can get things. This is basically your research. We can get like fuel injection and all that kind of stuff for the things that we want. So we can get faster rotation speeds that'll be up by 25%. However, the maintenance is that we'll get paid less for each one of our signals. So that's something you're going to want to keep in mind as well, is that all of these things come with a cost. And so, like, let's say that we install the upgrade for our solar panels so that our recharge rate is 25, or I guess a couple percent higher. It'll take some time, but it will work out pretty well for us. Honestly, our systems are all looking really good right now. Yeah, I mean, system efficiency and everything are looking pretty good. We're recharging. Kind of. We are going to have to get this electrical system figured out. Like, I've got, like, everything powered down right now. I guess I could kill the audio right there and see if that helps out with the recharge rate or the power consumption. I mean, honestly, it may not just be a sunny day. It may be kind of a nasty day. We can break open the scanner. Oh, is it because I didn't listen to the signal? That's what it was. So there you go. There's our signal. The other interesting thing is some people have dove into the guts of the game, and sometimes when you get the primary, or when you get the binary readouts and stuff like that, some people have plugged them into like binary translators, or they just know how to read binary. And in that situation, let's go ahead, and I actually kind of want to ditch this signal. I'm not sure what's going on right now. We should be done with this signal. Why are we not done with this signal? This is concerning. So apparently this signal right here that we had came from a planet, an iron planet. Apparently we can find that out just by the sound a planet makes. That's right, we're interpreting planetary farts right now in order to get all that sweet biological information. I guess interplanetary information. I don't know if that counts as binary. There we go. We gotta zoom out a little bit here. With detection energy. Interesting. Alright, well, we'll disable that signal right there. And then, what else we got going on? There we go. Now we can send out a new ping. I was gonna say, we're done with that one. I just couldn't remember what you do in order to clear an old signal. Sometimes they clear on their own, and sometimes you gotta manually clear them, because the system gets all weird and obsessive. It's all clingy girlfriend style. But anyways, this is Signal Simulator. I hope you guys liked the game. If you want to see more, make sure you leave a like on this video. This is a game that I would very much like to play more. But this is a game you should be aware of if you're into, like, job simulators and things, because it is an interesting title and it's done very, very well. This game has a real sense of creeping dread as you get further into it, as you actually start to discover alien life and be like, oh my god, you know, what have I stumbled into? Like, what have I gotten myself involved with? And so it's a pretty sweet title. If you wanted to download it, I got a link for you down below so that you can check that on out. Aside from that, my name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie gaming every single day so that you don't have to. I hope you guys have had a wonderful afternoon hanging out with me, and I will see you all later. Thank you for being here.